If you watched the previous video, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, don't worry. You can start right here. By the end of this video, you'll understand many of the most important investing and stock market concepts through simple, real-life examples. Let's start. Number 6. IPO, Initial Public Offering. Imagine your company has become incredibly successful. Customers love your products, sales keep growing, and now you want to expand even faster. But opening new stores, building new factories, or entering new markets requires a huge amount of money. Instead of borrowing everything from a bank, you decide to invite the public to become owners of your company by selling shares. This process is called an initial public offering, or simply an IPO. Before an IPO, the company is privately owned. After an IPO, anyone can buy and sell its shares through the stock market. That's why people say, the company is going public. Mostly, companies often go public to raise money for expansion, develop new products, enter new markets, and grow their business even faster. An IPO can also provide an opportunity for existing shareholders, such as founders and early investors, to sell some of their shares, either during the IPO or later through the stock market. Number 7. Dividend. Now here's another question many ask. Once I buy a stock, how do I actually make money? Most people immediately think the price has to go up. And yes, that's one way, but it's not the only way. Imagine you own a coffee shop. Last month, your shop started earning a profit. You could reinvest all of that money to open more locations, or share some of the profits with the people who invested in your business and became part owners of the shop. Companies do the same thing. Instead of keeping all of their profits, they sometimes share a portion of those profits with their shareholders. Those payments are called dividends. The best part is, you don't have to sell your shares to receive them. You continue owning the company, while also receiving part of its profits as dividend. However, not every company pays dividends. Many fast-growing companies choose to reinvest all of their profits back into the business, so they can grow even faster. Number 8. Capital gain. There's another major way investors make money. It's called a capital gain. Imagine you buy a small house for $200,000. You don't renovate it or make it bigger. You simply own it. Several years later, the neighborhood becomes more popular. New schools open, and more businesses move in. Now your house is worth $400,000. Its value increased, even though the house itself didn't change very much. Stocks work the same way. Imagine you buy one share of a company for $50. A few years later, the company grows. Sales increase, profits improve, and more investors want to own it. Now that same share is worth $80. That $30 increase in value is called a capital gain. Unlike dividends, a capital gain doesn't come directly from the company. It happens because other investors are willing to pay more for your investment than you originally paid. Number 9. Portfolio. Now imagine you've started investing. Would you put all of your money into just one company? Maybe. But what if that company performs poorly? That's why investors talk about something called a portfolio. Think about your school backpack. Inside, you don't carry only one notebook. You probably have different books, pens, a calculator, and maybe a laptop. Everything you need is kept together. An investment portfolio works the same way. It's simply the collection of everything you own as an investor. Your portfolio might include stocks, bonds, ETFs, index funds, real estate, or even cash. Together, all of those investments make up your portfolio. So when someone asks, what's in your portfolio? They're simply asking, what investments do you own? Number 10. Diversification. Now here's one of the oldest pieces of investing advice you'll ever hear. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Imagine you go to the market carrying 20 eggs. If all 20 eggs are in one basket, and you accidentally drop it, you lose everything. But what if those same 20 eggs were divided among 5 different baskets? If one basket falls, you still have most of your eggs. Investing works the same way. Imagine putting every dollar you own into one company. If that business struggles, your entire investment could suffer. That's exactly why experienced investors don't put all of their money into a single investment. But what if you own shares in 20 different companies? Perhaps companies in technology, healthcare, banking, consumer products, and energy. Even if one company performs poorly, others may perform well. This helps reduce the overall risk of your portfolio. That's called diversification. However, diversification doesn't guarantee you'll never lose money, but it helps reduce the impact of any single investment performing poorly. That's why experienced investors don't try to find the one perfect stock. They build diversified portfolios instead. Now let's go to the next part.